Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John Jake Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Memphis Dynasty here on NCAA 12, one of the underrated NCAA games that we have in that Xbox 360 generation. And we're closing in on the end of the regular season. We're 7-3 right now. We're actually having a solid year in our first season in the Big Ten. Or not the Big Ten, but the Big East, I should say. We got a very tough non-conference opponent here late in the season. Yeah, we're going to be taking on Notre Dame. And this Notre Dame squad is pretty darn good. They're a B+ overall squad. We're only a C- overall team, but Kurt Herstreak, he's going to be rocking with us. I am as shocked as you guys. But that being said, this could be a big game here for our program. If we can win this game, you know, get some serious national attention, because Notre Dame's always on national TV, it seems like. No matter how good or bad they are, you know, that could be a big boost for a program and in recruiting as we're getting in here to the late portions of this season, man. But speaking of that recruiting, I do have a little bit of an update for you guys. So I actually was doing some recruiting leading up to this episode, man, and we actually do get a hard commit after we try to make a phone call. Matt Scales, he's a 3-star athlete from Adamsville, Alabama. I'm really excited to bring him into our program. I think that's going to be a big boost for us. I see him moving somewhere on the defensive line, probably more likely defensive end, since he doesn't have that size to be an interior defensive lineman in the trenches. That being said, we are also going after a couple of other guys. Shannon Austin is one of them. He's a 3-star, but he is a soft commit to Eastern Carolina. And then another 3-star that I would really love to bring in is Joseph Minor. He's also a 3-star from Adamsville, Alabama. Same team as Matt Scales, so, you know, hopefully that we can bring his teammate in as well, depending on that relationship's like. But he is a soft commit to Boise State. And then Michael Denman, I'm hoping to close the deal on him, as well as close this gap for Robert Crenshaw. He's a 3-star guy from South Carolina. Would love to bring all that in. But y'all, I am excited to get things rocking and rolling here, and I hope you guys are as well. If you are, make sure you go ahead and smack that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. Let's go ahead and jump right into this thing. I'll catch you guys on the field for some quality football action. Let's go, baby. Alright, boys, so we got one of the blue bloods of college football, or at least one of the more storied programs on our home field. So let's see who can come out here and put on a show. And William Jones, who steps in for the injured Justin Brown, he starts the game off extremely well for us, gives us that huge kick return that we were looking for, and man, do you certainly love to see that. As now we got a 1st and 10 coming up. Richards looking over the middle, and we find Jamarcus Mitchell downfield as well. So our offense, man, this first drive that we got going on, they certainly came to play. And we'll see if we can go ahead and keep that up here as we face a 3rd and long. We tried to dump it off to Willie Forwarda, but there was nowhere for our fullback for him to go, unfortunately. So it was a promising drive for us, but we do have to settle for this field goal attempt, and we were able to knock the field goal attempt directly through, so that will go ahead and give us the lead to start things out. Not a bad way to start things out against Notre Dame. Already showing here in year number 3 that we're more capable of playing these Power 5 opponents than what we were in seasons past. You know, when we play against Power 5 teams back in year number 1 as well as year number 2, we haven't been able to have that same kind of continuity, that same kind of success. So today I just want to come out here. I want to compete. I want to compete and prove that we belong on the same field as, you know, some of these elite programs in the country. Although I don't know if I would consider Notre Dame one, as they are obviously not ranked right now, right? So that's a thing. But 3rd and 10 here, at least that's what it was called originally. But they go to the replay booth, and it looks like just barely that Notre Dame receiver gets a foot in bounds. They'll eventually reverse this call as well. So we end up making it a 1st down for Notre Dame. So 3rd and 13 coming up here. They're going to throw over the middle of the field, but it's going to be incomplete. And that will mark another incompletion. So that does stop the drive. So that replay that they had does not hurt us in the end. But this play to start their next drive, that is going to hurt us just a little bit more. So we ended up going 3 and out on our next possession. So our defense, they did not get a lot of rest. We'll see if that affects us here on this drive specifically, as quarterback has plenty of time to throw the football. He throws right down the middle, and that does give Notre Dame a first down. And so the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the red zone, looking to score their very first points in this one. No, they're going to go with the halfback draw. We were bamboozled a little bit there. A 5-yard gain for the Irish tailback, which pretty sure is their tight end or their wide receiver. Don't know exactly what's going on with all of that, but they still find a way to make it work, though, as Notre Dame, they do get the first touchdown this ball game. That wraps up the first quarter of action already, as we find ourselves down 7-3. Listen, we got to come and put together more drives, because I feel like Notre Dame could put up quite a few points against us. So now, second quarter of action here underway, as Jesse Richards comes back, looking for more consistency from the ground game, and we're actually finding some in William Jones, because remember, he may have been a backup before, but he's also been a starter. He's got some starter experience, and you certainly love that here as we throw over to the right-hand side, as Jamarcus Mitchell does come down and make that catch for us there. So that's a nice first down there for the Memphis Tigers. As now another 1st and 10 coming up, as Richards drops back the pass, looks over in the middle of the field, and finds William Jones. He was certainly wide, but naked open right there. First down for the Memphis Tigers. And that is something that you certainly love to see. And we'll see if we can keep that going. But 3rd and long, we go with the halfback draw. Someone that we haven't heard from in a while, Tufington. He's going to step in, and he's going to get a carry here in this one. Although he does not go very far, only manages to pick up a gain of 6. And unfortunately, we didn't have that great of a punt either. So Notre Dame, they also get the football in our side of the field, and they will not be taking very much time at all before they find the end zone yet again. So now 14-3 ends up being your score. And yeah, that's just a case of bad tackling there. Reggie Franklin had a chance to make a play. Ryan Towns got locked into some animation. That's something that I do notice in NCAA 12, is that, when you see those types of animations, they're basically taken out of the play. They can't make a tackle unless they're like head on, like they can't contort the body or anything crazy like that. But Sean Miller able to come in. He is going to give our team some life. We have some actual life to work with now. And that was an interception that we really badly needed, because it really did seem like for Notre Dame, all the momentum was on their side. And now we can reverse course and see if we can get this back to just a 1-possession game. 3rd and inches coming up, though. We'll see if we can go ahead and try to pick up this first down. Notre Dame does not send the blitz, but throws over to the left-hand side, and Brian Kidd does pick up the first down. I really did think that they were going to send that blitz, but that just didn't really happen there. So, 2nd and 9 coming up here again. Richards drops back the pass, finds Jamarcus Mitchell. He was around that first down marker, but they won't give us that first down, though. And with less than a minute left to play, we will end up calling our second timeout that we got. So now, 3rd and inches coming up. We're going to try to throw for it initially, but then Richard sees the big gashing hole in their defense, and thought to themselves, like, wait a minute now. We can just go ahead and run it ourselves? Bet, let's go ahead and do that. And that's exactly what we did, setting up this 1st and goal as Chris Washington decides to break off his route early. I don't know why he did this, because if he just kept going on that slant pattern a little bit longer, he would have had himself a touchdown. And instead, we're going to try to have one more play, get into the end zone, and Washington does it again. Chris Washington over on that right-hand side does the same thing, and it's just so infuriating that he did that. That could have been a touchdown on 2 separate occasions. Instead, in order to just get something out of it, we had to settle for yet another field goal, and that is how this first half is going to end, us down by 8. So the special teams had the actual last play of the first half, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into that second half of action. And listen, we're playing fine, nothing to freak out about by any means, but we got to continue to keep Notre Dame on its heels, and it starts on this drive right here. 3rd and 4 coming up, and it looks like they're going to go into the shotgun. Quarterback's got too much time and throws over the middle of the field. That's going to be a 1st down for the Fighting Irish. And Notre Dame, they want to go fast here. They're going to go into their no-huddle offense. This time, their quarterback lines up right under center. And again, all the time in the world. And our defenders, they're doing their best to cover. But when this quarterback has all this time that he has right now, there's just not really much that I can really do about, to be honest. So eventually our DBs, they do give up yet another completion. And it ends up being yet another 1st down. But we do read it a little bit better on future pass plays. Davis actually did a really nice job there of able to, get off rushing the quarterback and then proceed to, go make a play on that screen. That was actually a really big play for us because he had no body in between him and like a really big play, right? So yeah, that's gonna make it 3rd and 14 here, as now dropping back, trying to get him off the field, and it's gonna be an what? That's not an incompletion. That's crazy. So crazy is that I actually did challenge that, and somehow that guy was in bounds. I think that's a terrible call personally, but Notre Dame, they're a bigger school. They got a little bit more of that NIL money, so maybe that came over to the refs a little bit. I have no idea. Not saying that the refs are being paid or anything like that, but just something ain't adding up in order for that, right? But doesn't kill us ultimately, at least not totally. Forced Notre Dame to take a 50-yard field goal, which actually they almost made. Dude had the distance to make this field goal, right? He was capable of doing it. Just the field goal was just a tad bit off. It was off to the right-hand side. So with that being said, we're still down by 8 points. So not only do we need a touchdown, we do need to pick up the 2-point conversion as well. As Richards will drop back to pass, throws over the middle, and Brian the Kid makes a great route happen here. He's going to pick up the 1st down. And we will also find ourselves here in Notre Dame territory. So we'll see if we can build off of that as we have another 1st and 10 to work with. Gonna throw back over the middle of the field. And Jamarcus Mitchell, he gets loose in the backfield. Red zone opportunity incoming. And that was almost a touchdown. Either way, Jamarcus Mitchell having a very good game here. 4 catches for 73 yards. As William Jones will finish off the drive for us, and we'll have to go for 2. We will go for this 2-point conversion, obviously, so that we can actually try to tie this game. So we'll see if we can pick it up on the ground, but our offensive line cannot win at the point of attack, and nowhere for William Jones to go. So we don't need a touchdown to tie this game, but we still aren't tied, if that makes any sort of sense at all. Down 14-12. And Notre Dame comes back out onto the field after a false start penalty, right? So it's 1st and 15. Eventually, again, same problem that we had on the previous drive a little bit. We end up not getting really any pressure on this quarterback. And Josh Meadows, he was in a good spot, but just could not make anything happen there. Thought we were going to also get that sack too. Actually really surprised that quarterback would not just go ahead take off and scramble, but, you know, it is what it is, whatever floats your boat. But we do at least force the punt. We got the punt to happen, and now a golden opportunity for us to take the lead, as Notre Dame going with a single high safety. So finally was a chance to try to take a shot downfield, but everybody was on clamps. Everybody was locked up, had to get rid of that football. And you know what happened there? We had a holding penalty on Chance Coleman, one of our offensive linemen. So now we're really backed up in our own territory, as somehow Brian Kidd makes this play happen. I don't know how this play happened. That was more of a desperation play so that we don't take a safety. I'm all here for it though. But that does end up wrapping up that third quarter of action. And we're in for a really good one. 14-12 is your score. Little bit of a defensive struggle. And we'll see if our offense can finally unlock the secret here. First play of the fourth quarter, as we tried to pull a fast one with an off-tackle run over to the left-hand side, but it just doesn't work though. So that does mean that we had to punt the football away once again, and the offense is still, their offense has been struggling as well, but how much longer does that last exactly? I have no idea. However, defense playing lights out. Gonna need that here in this fourth quarter, as Notre Dame trying to take a shot in the end zone. But Daniel, the true freshman, steps in, makes a play on the football. And now it's 3rd and 11. Trying to hold Notre Dame to a field goal. We need it. Throwing towards the end zone, but it's broken up at the very last second. So Notre Dame will trot out its field goal unit, as they will try for what looks like about a 37-yard field goal. So not that hard of a field goal to make. That being said, Notre Dame will make it. You know, it's not that hard to make that kind of field goal. So now we need a touchdown. Now we definitely need a touchdown. And this throw right here was just pure desperation. Jesse Richards was just being really frustrated all day long. Just couldn't make really much of anything happen. This was not a great game for Jesse Richards. And just trying to throw it up one-on-one to Chris Washington, make something happen. But those Notre Dame corners, they are just so much more superior than what we got going on right now. So now we're back in again. Got our offense bound onto the field. They end up getting a pick six off of that, which I know you guys definitely saw there. We're down by 12 points though. We only got 5.5 minutes left to play. The time is now if we want to come back and win this game. Looking over the middle of the field. Willie Duckett does go ahead and make the reception for us, but there's going to be a holding penalty called, and that will mean Dan Larson, he was the guilty party. That's going to really knock us back. 2nd and 20 we got here, and after this almost interception yet again, it's now going to be 3rd and 20. Not where we want to be, but that's what we got to do. We'll see what we call here on 3rd and 20, which honestly, not very many plays you can call in that type of situation. So we'll just run it with William Jones and just kind of hope that our defense can come through and just do something for us here, man. Like, we need our defense to make a big play. I'm really desperate for one right now. So we'll see if our defense can come around and make that miracle play happen. We're getting down to the last 4 minutes of this game. We're really starting to lose hope here, to be honest with you, as Notre Dame is driving down the field yet again. And I would imagine if they score yet another touchdown, this game is going to be like barbecue chicken, because it's going to be over. And now, 1st and 10, dropping back, looking to the right-hand side, but it's going to be broken up. That was a big play there. They'll be able to get some time off the clock if that pass is completed. Instead, it's 2nd and 10, as now Notre Dame throws to the left-hand side. That's completed, and they will go out of bounds right away. So, another 1st and 10 for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And they're inside the 35-yard line. This is field goal range for this Notre Dame kicker, as they try to go ahead, run the halfback draw. And while the initial draw wasn't that great necessarily. We do bail them out with a face mask. AJ Kaysen sells on us there. And now Notre Dame is in the red zone. Like I said, got to avoid that touchdown given up at all costs, because if they get this touchdown, this game is 100% over. I don't think we come back from this. We'll see what this team has. 2nd and 3. Dropping back. It's the quarterback trying to throw over the right-hand side, but it's deflected away at the line of scrimmage. And good thing, too, he was open for a possible touchdown if that ball was not batted away like that. And now, 3rd and 3. Walker's going to get moved into the motion, going over to the left-hand side. Dropping back, trying to force pressure, and we do. Force that pressure, baby. Let's go, man. That's what I'm talking about. Force the field goal. It will keep us in the game. Still 3.5 minutes left to play in this game. I have seen greater miracles. Ask the Atlanta Falcons how they feel about 28-3. It can happen. But we really need our offense to score, and field goals are just not going to cut it. First play of the new drive. Jesse Richards drops back to pass. Looks over in the middle of the field, trying to find Jody Gentry. And that pass is going to be incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10. Trying to get better results. Going to keep passing the football. This time, we're trying to throw it short out to the flat. That's also going to be incomplete as well. So 2 incompletions to start this drive. Not what we wanted. And therefore, we got a 3rd and 10 that we got to pick up. Throwing over the middle, and Jamarcus Mitchell makes the grab. It's not a first down, though. You know what time it is. We're running out of options. We're going for it. 4th and 3. And if we don't get this, it's over. 4th down. Looking over the middle. It's William Jones. And Jones makes the reception. So that keeps us alive. But now we got to go turbo mode, because it's time for us to get this ball down the field as quickly as possible. Going into the stick and Hodge. 5 wide set. Richards drops back. Looking over the middle of the field. And it's nearly intercepted. Almost had a dagger. But instead, they drop the football. And it keeps a little hope alive. 2nd and 10 going up. Throw it to the left-hand side. That's meant to be a curl. It works, though, as Willie Duckett makes the grab. Even better than I would have anticipated. I expected that Notre Dame corner to stop sooner. Did not happen that way. And now we're going right into our no huddle net yet again. Richards drops back. Looks over the middle of the field, but it's going to be incomplete. And it will stop the clock at 2:23. So we'll go with the 4 verts till it hurts to see if we have some luck there. And sure enough, we got a man open over the middle of the field. It's Brian the Kid. Big time play. And that also gives the school record to Jesse Richards. So we got that going for us as well. And now we have a chance to possibly tie this game. Are you kidding me? So we got the touchdown. We ended up settling for the extra point because I figured, okay, if we end up not getting the 2-point conversion, it's still a 2-possession game. Now we have a chance to tie this up. Looks like it'll pay off for us. 2nd and 11 now coming up. Richards goes ahead and tries to set up that halfback screen, but a halfback screen is going to be incomplete, unfortunately. And now it'll be 3rd and long again. We've seen miracles happen before. Can we get another one? 3rd and 11. Richards drops back, throws over the middle of the field. He's got Brian the Kid in the end zone again. Touchdown, Memphis. And just like that, in a blink of an eye, we got a touchdown, we got a turnover, and we got another touchdown to go with it as well. Let's go, baby. And now, 2-point conversion. So important right now. We got to get this 2-point conversion, and we need it bad. Richards drops back to pass. He's going to try to scramble, and Jesse Richards fights his way into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good, and now it's all knotted up at 27 apiece. You cannot make this up. And now Notre Dame feeling the heat a little bit. They got to get downfield if they want to win this game. However, we have another interception by Ryan Towns. There's a flag on the field, though. We'll check out what the flag is. And sure enough, it's going to be a face mask penalty. That's going to get it half the distance to the goal. So, what we decide to do, we're going to go ahead, run the football. We run it with William Jones. And that should get us in a good spot. We got it centered. And now all we have to do is just make sure we call a timeout here. I get down to conservative, trying to run out the clock quicker, and we make... Oh, that is a boneheaded decision by me, man. I can't believe I did this. If we end up losing this game, you can roast me in the comment section. I deserve it. We had the win in our hands. We really did. And now it's going to go to overtime. And Notre Dame, they start with the football. First overtime period. Notre Dame, they don't waste any time. They march right down the field. Already got a goal line situation. See if we can hold it down here in the goal line. 3rd and goal. Looking to the right hand side, but it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame. And Notre Dame will take a 34-27 lead here in overtime. So now, that being said, our offense must score a touchdown too, just to keep the game alive. We'll see if our offense got the dog in them. Richards looks to the right-hand side, gets it out to Willie Duckett, but Duckett, he cannot hang on to the football, though. And that's going to be dropped for an incompletion. So now we're looking at a 3rd and 11 here, as Richards will again drop back to pass, looking for somebody to get open. Somehow that's caught by Brian the Kid, who has really stepped up in the clutch here in this 4th quarter and overtime period. I mean, you saw those stats from Brian the Kid. It's really something else. And next play, we're able to capitalize off that big play as well. And you know what? We're going for it. I know we can't compete with Notre Dame forever. Let's try to end this thing. We're going for it. This is for the win, to decide who goes and wins this game, but we can't convert it. We don't get the 2-point conversion, and that's how it ends. So this was a game that was certainly filled with roller coaster emotions. I thought we were going to get blown out there in the 4th quarter. Then we stormed back, but because of my bad decisions, that's why we lost this game. But given to those guys on the field, and given that we were missing our best player, we were still competitive. I'm really proud of how these guys fought here today. Jesse Richards did a good job directing the offense today. He was 24 for 42 for 298 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception in this one. On the ground, we did have a little bit of a harder time getting anything going in our rushing attack. That's why we did decide to pass for 2 instead of run for 2. William Jones did have 29 carries for 98 yards, so not a 100-yard day, but did find the end zone. So did our fullback, Willis Forwerda. You know, I'd certainly love getting those fullbacks involved. As for our receivers, Brian Kidd was the MVP in my opinion. He really stepped up for us in our passing game. He ends up with 6 catches, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns to go with that too. Jamarcus Mitchell also leading the team in catches as well. As for our defense did what it could, but we just had a hard time getting anything going on offense, and unfortunately, that put our defense in some tough spots at times. Kyle Davis, Nate Coleman, and Josh Meadows did all get 6 solo tackles in this game, so they were all trying to put in their work for sure. Sam Miller and Antoine Curtis also had a few tackles as well. One thing that we were pretty good about is getting to the quarterback and just being disruptive though. We had 5 sacks in this game, and Nate Coleman, Mario Davenport, and then we also saw Reggie Franklin, Josh Meadows, and Antoine Curtis all get to the quarterback. We also saw multiple interceptions too. Zach Scott got an interception, and then Ryan Towns, I thought he had the pick that would seal the game, but it was not meant to be. Sam Miller also made a play in the first half. Well, it looked like Notre Dame was going to try and pull away as well. So, you know, a game that we should have won, but also shouldn't have won, if that makes sense. But 2 games that we lost in a row now, and now we got to really focus up if we want to have any momentum going into the very end of the season. But after the game, we do end up bringing in a couple of guys into our program. We're bringing in Joseph Minor, who are able to pry away from Boise State, and that's going to fill a nice need for us. He will be the second corner that we end up signing that is at least a 3-star. And then we're also able to get a commitment from Michael Denman as well. He's a 3-star from Waycross, Georgia, able to pry him out of the heart of Georgia as well, and he's going to be coming over to our program. So I'm equally excited about that. Recruiting is at least starting to pick up here as we're getting into the final stages of this season. So for the final game of the regular season, we will go up against SMU. And SMU, they are a football team that has not handled a transition to the Big East like we've been able to handle that transition, right? They're 4-7, we're 7-4, but I do want to finish this regular season strong because even though we did move up to a better conference, that does not mean we are going to be guaranteed the opportunity to go to a bowl game. At least as long as we win this game, we should be going bowling. So guys, I'm excited about what the end of the regular season brings, and I hope you guys are excited for that as well. If you are, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button for me, hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J Gaming on the mic, signing off. Hoping you guys are out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.